What's up, witches? Hey, Laurenberg, what's up? What's up, what's up? How we doing? How we doing? What's up, witches? Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's high tea time. I think it's been a couple months since our last one. Hey, Betty, what's up? What's going on? Laurenberg's finishing up a crochet project. Very cool. My mom crochets and I knit because I just had to be different. I learned how to knit when I was at the mountain school. What's up? Just lighting my candle from the staycation and my herb bundle from our goodie bag at the staycation. Shout out to Lit Rituals. These are Lit Rituals candles and bundles. So I'm just setting the vibe here. I was just about to go live when I remembered that I planned to set up a second camera to kind of show you guys a little bit better what I'm doing. So hopefully I set that up right. And then I realized, oh shoot, I gotta feed Kitty. Kitty gets fed at 7 and she was giving me the angry meows. So I had to make sure to get her fed so she wasn't mad at me. Okay. Had to make sure Kitty wasn't mad at me, so I had to feed her. Hey, June, what's up? June was at the staycation this weekend. They can tell you how dope it was. I've used up all my matches from our goodie bags. You got the trick-or-treaters in your area, buddy? We're in the hood, so we get trick-or-treaters too, but it's a little bit different. They go around to the bodegas. Most buildings don't be going for that in the building stuff, but a lot of the local shops and bodegas will let them come around. Which is definitely nice. I know. Wow. What a powerful weekend. Shout out to June. June led us in a very impromptu, unexpected full moon ritual where all of the witches in the house gathered around outside under the full moon at like 1 o'clock in the morning, Saturday night. And we all collectively made a cologne, a spiritual cologne, which was so beautiful. Everyone added their own ingredients and their own intentions, and it was just wonderful. So now June is the steward of the cologne, and it is percolating at their house, getting ready for us. Okay, I'm still getting myself ready here. Bustling about getting things done, but I'm actually really glad that I was like kind of like quote unquote running behind a little bit because I have so many things to tell you guys about. And so this will give me time to tell you all about that while I get myself together. It does, doesn't it? It smells so good. The scent is pumpkin tobacco. So I thought it was really perfect. Crotch goblins in costume. I call them crumb snatchers. I like crotch goblins though. That's accurate. I feel like that's accurate as well. I tend to call them crumb snatchers, okay, because that's what they do. Everything that falls out of your mouth halfway before it even gets out of your mouth, they want to snatch it. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat in peace. If you've ever tried to eat around kids, you literally cannot eat in peace. It doesn't matter how full they are. They want what you have, and I'm just not with it. I'm not with it, okay? Hola, Ángela, bienvenidos. Saludos desde Argentina. Bienvenidos. So good to have you, my love. Welcome, welcome. We're flip side of the calendar from Argentina. So for you guys, it's Beltane or Beltana. It's May Day for you guys on the neo-pagan wheel of the year, which is also a time where it's said that the veil is very thin. But rather than focusing on death and endings, it's a time to focus on birth and new beginnings, because you guys are fully into the spring season, almost to be summer. So that's super beautiful to have you from the other side, bringing that energy to us. Hey, Cynthia, welcome, welcome. Hi, Diana. Another staycation witch is in the building. Welcome. Good to see you. June was just talking about how good the candle smells. I don't know if you got a chance to light your Lit Rituals candle just yet, but it's pretty awesome. I'm just getting myself in the zone. My tea is steeping and percolating. So, hello, welcome, Abby. How are you? So this is a high tea live in case this is your first time here. I don't know, some of the OGs can mention like how long it's been that I've been doing these. It definitely started during pandemic times. But basically, when I was smoking cannabis more regularly, I would go live on the full moons to indulge in some herbals with you guys and basically just answer questions about magic and witchcraft and divination. Sometimes we would do little activities and things like that. Last year, I did a high tea and walked you guys through the process that I use to make my vision boards, something I've been doing for the last few years that has been incredibly effective for me in terms of manifesting the things that I want. It's been unbelievable. And so it's something that I'm hooked on. I am 100% hooked on making vision boards. It's going to be happening every year for me. It's just, it knocks it out of the park. It is the most effective thing that I have found for making my year be exactly what I want it to be. And yeah, it pops. It really is dope. So for those of you who've never done it, I like these because I feel like the idea makes sense. Like, okay, make a vision board, but then you actually sit down to do it and it can be a little bit overwhelming. So I like these lives because I get to share with you guys some of my tips and tricks and things that I've learned that I think make it a lot smoother of a process. You know, I do some planning ahead of time, kind of throughout the year, honestly. And then when I sit down, I'm able to do it, you know? Oh, gosh. Okay. Hold on, y'all. 1 second. I'm back. I'm back. Hey, Nuri. Yes, yes. I'm gonna throw that back up. June said, "Gonna hunker down and make one soon. It's so inspiring and a fun form of manifestation." I got to tell you guys, it's not just fun; it's super effective. I've told the story of making my first vision board before, but the first one that I made, I think it was the first one that I made was in October of 2019. And then, of course, you guys all know what happened spring 2020. And I made the vision board, I put it up on my wall, and I was like, okay, well, this shit's not going to happen now because the whole world just shut down and nobody knows what's going on. So I literally put it to the side. Like, I think I took it off the wall and like put it away or something. And then when it got to October of 2020, it was time to do another one. And I pull it out and I'm looking at it and I'm like, holy shit. So many of these things still came to be. It was unbelievable. It was like, just because I had put it in my subconscious, just because I had put it in the universe, it was happening. Even though I wasn't checking on it every day, even though I had kind of like given up on it, it was happening anyway. And when I saw that, I was like, oh, I definitely need to do this more often. I think this might actually be a legitimately effective way of calling things into my life without even having to think about it. Just setting the vision and setting the vibe, super effective. So, first of all, I'm going to share with you guys how I get myself set up. I've got my vibes going, I've got my candle lit, I've got some incense for the day. I have a deck that I'm going to pull a card from to kind of help me set the vibe. And that reminds me, I also want to get some tarot cards that I might work into this. I've got my herbals. So I've got a cup of tea in my high tea mug. We still have a few of these in the shop, guys, for people who are late to the party and didn't get their high tea mug. I am sipping on Goji Bud Berry Tea from 8 Flower Canna Tea. Shout out to Essie. Essie was a vendor at one of our events at the shop. Delicious teas. And this one has 15 milligrams of flour in it. And I think it is a sativa. Okay, so I've got that. Very delicious. And then to smoke on, I haven't been really indulging in too much THC these days. So I felt like the tea was enough. So to smoke on, I've got these Puff Herbals Sativa Hemp and Herbal Blends. This is CBD. So this is hemp flower, not cannabis flower. Okay. And it's got hemp, raspberry leaf, peppermint, holy basil, marshmallow, mullein, sage, skullcap, and gotu kola. Beautiful blend. And we carry these in the shop as well. Puff Herbals is really cool. They're a woman-owned brand from Massachusetts. So we dig them. All right, now let me see. This box is a different kind of box from the small box. So I'm going to make sure. How do I open it? I think you're supposed to push this part here down. Push in. Oh, yeah, here we go. Got it. Got it. Okay, so it comes like this. Whoop. 5 pre-rolls in this cute little carrying case. So we're going to be enjoying that. YouTube, don't get mad. It's CBD, okay? Everybody tell YouTube it's CBD. Okay. Put that in the captions. Put that in the comments. Hey YouTube, it's just CBD. Don't get mad. There's THC in the tea though. Don't get mad at me, YouTube. Don't block me, okay? Okay. One thing I want to run and go get real quick is my cards. I have a deck of cards that I use for spell work and vision boarding and stuff like that. It's not a full deck. It's a collection of different cards and different decks and stuff like that. So I want to grab those because I feel like I might need them. I'll be right back. Hi, Kitty. I'm back. Do you guys have magic boxes? Do any of you guys have like magic stash boxes where you keep like little trinkets and like special little things that you find and stuff like that for magic work? Because I've never shown you guys my magic box, but maybe one day I will. But I have a box under my bed of just like random magical stash stuff. Just grabbing some cards I meant to add to this stash, fam. Anybody have a box like that or a bag like that where you just have like little things? Like this is like a cloth that I got from a gift from somebody. And I've used it for different things. Right now I use it to like tie up these. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you. Okay. Make sure that YouTube knows what's up. Okay. Don't get mad, YouTube. I'm putting that up on the screen. So like whoever's in charge of checking these things will see. Like, don't come for me. Don't block me. Okay. Lauren Burke has a magic box. It's a Vaults box. Yes. I use a Vaults box for my travel altar. Okay. So I've got like various cards from pieces of decks and different things like that. Some have been like freebie gifts, samples. One is a deck that I just like. A bunch of these cards come from a deck that I just didn't connect with very much, but I loved the imagery. So sometimes I'll use those for stuff. So I'm going to put that over here because I like putting like 3D things on my boards and not just flat pictures because it just makes it more fun. All right. Is everybody ready? We're going to get into the vision board making. If everybody is ready, does everybody have their herbals? Everybody has their tea. For those of you who are making vision boards with me, do you have your board? Do you have your crafting items? I have my craft box right here with all my glue, my tape, scissors, various little nooks and things, markers, a ruler, some paint. Okay, these are all useful craft things for making a vision board. Damn, this tea is good. Ooh, shout out to you, Essie. Eighth flower can of tea. This is the goji budberry, and it is so good. Yes, Cynthia, I really love when things are interactive. So I'll show you guys my previous boards. Okay, I'm not kidding around when I say I have made one every year since 2019. These are facts. Okay, so first of all, this is the very first board. Okay, a little bit of 3D action going on here with the 3D flower. Okay, work from home. Hello. Online classes with the Udemy. Hello. Trip to Turkey. We went to Turkey that year. Hello. Okay. So, yeah. I think actually this was 2018. I think this was the end of 2018 because I was still manifesting the trip to Turkey. And then that happened. And then I think next was 2019, which I think was this one. Yeah, I think was this one next. Okay, and I was so excited about the board. I was like, yes, it's going to be amazing. I'm going to do all this stuff. And then boom, pandemic hit, and I was like, well, so much for that. That's not going to happen. And then 2020 comes around and I look at everything and I was like, holy shit, it actually did come to be. That's incredible. So then this was the next one, I believe. Okay. Got some cards, the Durga card on there. Okay. And I was surprised how many of those things actually had come to be. So I was like, let me get back to the vision boarding. Then this was the first year of the shop being open. And you'll notice that it's very like minimal. This year I was under so much pressure. I was so busy. I was so exhausted and I didn't really have a lot of time to prepare for it. But I still wanted to make it because I had seen from the previous years how effective it was to make it. So I was like, I'm not going to not make it. So even if I just put a few things on here that kind of speak to me, I'm going to do it. And the cool thing about this vision board is even though it didn't have a lot of like physical things on it, what it taught me was that my vision board should be more about energy, more about the vibe of what I want to experience than specific goals. Okay, so that's the first tip that I will give you guys with making your vision boards is this is not a list of goals per se. Okay, you can do it that way, but I think it's more effective instead to ask yourself, what do you want to experience? What do you want to feel this year? What sensations, what fabrics, what things do you want to see, rather than a list of goals? Because then it can make your vision board, if it's all about your goals, it can make it feel overwhelming and put a lot of pressure on you. And the idea of the vision board is not about what you're going to do. It's about telling the universe what you want to see, what you want to call into your life. So, and we don't give the universe goals. Don't do that. I mean, that's a waste of your time. But the universe is going to do what it's going to do. Instead, put out into the universe the vibe of what you want to feel, what you want to experience, what you want to see in your life, so that it can reflect that back to you. So that vision board was actually very helpful for me, because yes, I did go to Jamaica that year. Yes, I did. That was the last time I went, actually. And so, what you want to do is you want to call in the experiences, the vibe, the energy, etc. Goals are things that you do, and you can definitely make a goal list. I have a goal list for me. I have a goal list for my business every year, but that's not the same as what goes on my vision board. On my vision board, it's all about what I want to see, what I want to feel, what I want to experience, so that the universe, it's kind of like putting your prayer or your petition into picture form. Okay, if you want to think about it like that, your vision board is a petition in picture form. So it's not your goal list. It's not things that you're going to do. It's the things that you are petitioning from the universe, and you're putting them in picture form so that you can tell the universe even more clearly than you could in words what it is that you want. Does everybody understand that? Does that make sense about the difference between a vision board and a goal list? I want to make sure that part makes sense. Yep. Makes sense? Makes sense? Okay, good. Very good. Very good. So yeah, I want that to be clear, because when I started, I definitely was more along the lines of like, oh, these are the things I'm going to do this year. These are the things I'm going to accomplish. And the things that really came to be were the things that weren't about me, but just like the things I didn't even think it was possible for me to accomplish. That I just put on there as like a hope and a prayer. Those were the things that actually were coming to be. And I was realizing the difference between goals that I set for myself to work on and petitions to the universe. So your vision board is a visual picture form of your petition papers. Ooh, that just gave me an idea for next year's board. I think next year, throughout the year, I might like photocopy or take pictures of all of my petition papers and all my spells, and those might go on my vision board. That could be cool. Okay, so I want to show you guys last year real quick. I love last year's board. Super gorge. You don't see that? Okay, that's last year's board. She pretty. Okay, so a couple of things. Like, first of all, I liked this. I made it a little flat. Isn't that cool? And the cool thing about vision boards, I feel like, is that sometimes the things on them will be very obvious that they've come to be, and some of them will be like in progress when you check on them again in a year. So things that have come to be over here was like my community vibe. I wanted to find witchy friends that were like me, that I could hang out with. Let me see. Actually, you know what? This might be a good time for the second camera. Oh, look, she's high tech. Okay, she's high tech. Okay, so, okay. Let's get a good angle for you guys. Okay, so down here in the bottom is where I have like pictures of witches gathered together in groups, sitting around tables, having tea. Oh my God, this was us at the staycation. This was totally us at the staycation, sitting outside of our house, drinking our tea, doing our little full moon ritual. Okay. Yeah. See, this is what I mean. It wasn't a goal. It wasn't like this is something I'm going to work on or check off. It was just like, this is the vibe that I want from my year. And I totally had that. So many opportunities to like hang out with other witches and like do work together, hang out in the woods. Here's us in the woods on the nature hike. I love that. I love looking at the vision board the year later and seeing how all these things came to be. Isn't that cool? Oh, I love that. Other stuff on here. The gypsies represented a particular spirit guide that I wanted to connect with, who came through big time and who I got to deepen my relationship with big time. Okay. These books up here represented HQ and the fact that I wanted to like feel more like a bookstore. And that's exactly what we are doing and what is underway. I wanted to partner with Llewellyn, the publishers. And not only did I partner with them to feature some of their authors on my podcast, but I got paid to be in one of the books, Leo Witch by Evo Dominguez Jr. Okay, so that one came through big. We updated our apothecary at the shop. My new apartment is underway. It's my old apartment, but it's becoming my new apartment thanks to some changes in my marriage status and now living by myself. So I was calling in the feeling of having my own space decorated and laid out the way that I wanted. And honey, these curtains right here are in the mail. Just ordered them. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Okay. So this vibe of like the apartment space that I wanted for myself is coming to be. Okay. I wanted to channel the energy of peridot, and I got a new peridot ring. Shout out to Manisha at Aligned Wire, who custom made me a beautiful peridot ring. Saraswati is a Hindu goddess that I wanted to connect with more deeply, and she like hit me in the face this year, kind of out of nowhere when I launched my coaching programs. She stepped up to help me do that. I wanted to spend more time at my cauldron, spell casting, and I cast some major magic for myself this year. Some really big spells that have popped off. Many of these things here are the result of magic. Me having my own apartment, the status of my marriage, all of those things all involve spell work, and those are all popping off. If they're not already done, they're in progress. So this was big this year to spend more time casting spells, and I'm going to be carrying that theme into next year for sure. Investment. I secured my first business loan at the very start of the year. That came through. I wanted to drink more tea. I wanted to get outdoors more. I wanted to visit my dear friend more. And these were representations of them. And I definitely got to do that. This rose was attached to my spirit guide. And I have been feeling for many years that some type of prison ministry is in my future. Doing some type of speaking at prisons or doing some type of spiritual outreach for prisoners. And I got to sit down for the podcast with Alwyn Dawn, the author of Paganism for Prisoners and Paganism for Parolees. And I connected with Janine DeOya and Valerie Love, who are both Black witches who do prison ministry. So they've been sharing with me how they got into that. So I feel like that's very much underway for sure. So, yes, so many of the things. Oh, I got to show you guys. So, do you see these pictures of these women with these powerful words written on them? I didn't know why I was so called to them. I was like, okay, I just feel called to these pictures. They're very powerful. It's not a goal. I'm not trying to like look like them or anything like that. I just like, I feel their vibe. I feel their power, right? Then about halfway through the year, this deck gets gifted to me or the shop. I can't remember if it was gifted directly to me or if it came into the shop. I think it might have been gifted directly to me. And the cards are absolutely beautiful, right? And I was just so called to them. I was like, oh, yes, I'm taking these home right now. I'm going to get into them. It's going to be amazing. And I'm flipping through the cards, and wait till you guys see what one of these cards looks like. So many of them pick up the vibe of my vision board, but check this out. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this not like an exact replica of these pictures? Hers even says worthy right on the arm. Like, I'm sorry, what? What? You've got to be kidding me. Okay, so I literally called these cards. Hey, Nisi. I literally called these cards into my life with my vision board. So that's what I mean. It's not about goals. This is not a goal list. This is about the vibe, the energy of the things you want to experience and the things that you want to see. Okay. And yeah. Ooh, I got like super chills when I was flipping through this deck and I was like, wait a minute. I've seen this before. Where have I seen a woman with words written all over her? And I was like, oh, my vision board. And I run to my vision board and I was like, you got to be kidding me right now. Like identical. So vision boards are so freaking effective. It is unbelievable. It will allow you to truly call into your life the different experiences, vibes, and energies that you want to see. It's so cool. So cool. All right. So before we get started, I wanted to pull a card for us, for me, but for you guys too. I pull a card from this deck every few weeks or so, and I leave it up on my prayer altar as kind of a mantra for me to repeat, or an affirmation, you could call it, for me to repeat to myself. Thank you, Cynthia. I can't even take credit though. It's not me. This vision board is not for me. This is not a list of things for me to accomplish. This is a picture-based petition to send out to the universe. So I guess we should say, you go universe. Thank you, universe. Thank you, spirits. Thank you, guides and guardians, for bringing all this into my life. Yeah? Am I just ring my bell? Are you in there? Huh? Oh, no. No, sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay, I'm back. That was my neighbor asking if I had gotten any mail for him today. Not today, no. I like my neighbor. He's mad cool. Him and his girlfriend, wife, and kid. I'm not sure. But they have a cute little family over next door, and we like take each other's mail and stuff, which is nice because I don't necessarily have like a neighborly relationship with anybody else in the building. So it's nice to have at least one person, that like you can talk to and that is kind of looking out, especially with my husband not being here anymore and it just being me and Kitty. Kitty's not exactly a guard kitty. No offense, Kitty. So it's nice to have a neighbor that like helps. Yes, Betty. That's exactly what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Putting things on your vision board that are not your goal. They're just things that you want to see, that you want to receive, and letting it happen. I got gifted a four-post bed too. Isn't that crazy? To get gifted like a whole bed. But I have a beautiful gold framed bed that my bestie just gifted me. She ordered one and then I forget what happened. She wanted to return it or something happened. And then the store just sent her another one. And she was like, wait, what do I do with the other one? And they were like, oh, just keep it. She was like, okay. She was like, you want a bed? I was like, yeah, I've always wanted a bed like that. So that was cool. Thank you, Abby. I'm glad that helps. I'm glad that helps. It took me a little while to understand the way to make a vision board really pop for you in your life, but set your goals somewhere else. Make your vision a petition to the universe for things that you're not going to work on. You just want them to make it happen. Thank you, Laurenberg. That's a good point. That's a good point. It's not like I don't serve, that I'm not doing anything. I got to make the avenues and I got to be open to receive, which means I have to do the work of clearing things out of my life that are not in alignment with what I'm telling the universe I want. You're absolutely right about that. Yes, it is co creation with the universe. Facts. So I'm not lazy. You're right. I'm not doing nothing. When you guys make your boards, it's not that you're going to just like sit back and do absolutely nothing. But you're going to approach it differently than the way you would a goal, where like when you have a goal, all the action steps fall on you. This is more of, like Laurenberg said, a co-creation. So you're putting out into the universe your wildest dreams, your biggest desires, no matter what, whether or not you think you can accomplish it or not, and then you do what you can in order to call it into your life and to make room for it, and the universe will do the rest. Yes. A very witchy thing to say, right, Cynthia? Lauren Berg was like, co-creation. Talk that talk. Talk that talk. All right, I'm going to take a little hit of this, and then I'm going to pull a card, and then we're going to start building. And I'm going to show you how I go about doing that because I've learned a few things with that too. This is kind of perfect. The suggested pairings for this, first of all, it's a sativa dominant hemp split with our stimulating herbal smoke blend. So we have the stimulating herbal smoke blend in the shop. And the suggested pairings are dancing, road trips, and to-do lists, which is kind of like a vision board. All right, so first things first, we have a board. Okay, piece of cardboard from a box that I found in the closet, similar size to last year. So I was like, okay, that's perfect. We've got our box of crafting stuff, different types of glue, different types of tape, scissors, like I said, rulers, paints, charcoals, markers, all of that good stuff. I like to have all of these things on hand because sometimes you're not going to find like a cutout or even a printout of what you want. So it's nice to be able to just write the words of something you want or draw the picture of something that you want. So having different materials is very helpful. And I like to have more than just like one type of adhesive, because not everything is going to be able to be just like taped on or glued on. Some things might need to be like, I don't know, glue gunned on. I've got a glue gun in there just in case. So. All right. Thank you, Hunflower. I really like the taste of this. I think it's the peppermint. Was it peppermint? Yes, peppermint. So this blend is the same as the stimulating blend that you can get in the shop. The only difference is that it has hemp flower added. And so we don't carry that online because we need special permission to carry CBD products online. And I'm not going through all of that, but you can get these in the store. So if you come in the shop, you can get these hemp blends. Online, you can get the herb blend without the hemp. It's still called the stimulating split, though. Right. Calling in my guides, guardians, angels, ancestors, and spirits, all of the elevated ancestors. Shout out to the ancestors. I'm going to place this vision board on my ancestor altar tonight and fire up the altar. Give some thanks there. Tonight is Halloween. For some of us, it is the start of Samhain. Samhain for me is something I celebrate on November 1st. I give myself October 31st to do like fun Halloween stuff, go out, make my vision board, hang out, go live, do those two types of things. And then tomorrow night, November 1st, when I get home from the shop, I will have a dumb supper. And we had an impromptu dumb supper at the staycation, which was really beautiful. I wasn't expecting that, but after our day out in the woods and having certain spirits come through so strongly during our rituals, I really felt like I needed to do that. And so we spent the first 10 minutes of dinner with the lights out and in complete silence to honor all of those who have passed on this year. But I really felt called to specifically honor the lives of the Palestinians and others who have lost their lives in this war between Israel and Palestine, this genocide that we are witnessing. It just felt really heavy on my heart all of a sudden that Saturday night. So I explained to everybody what a dumb supper was. I let them know how it happens, and we got our food and got everything ready so that we didn't need to talk to each other. And I put on some music. I fired up the ancestor altar, lit some candles and some incense. We had already prepared an ancestor altar when we first got there, just like intuitively we knew to do that. But I added some special candles and some incense to that. And we spent the first 10 minutes just eating in silence. And it was very emotional. A lot of us cried. A lot of us got messages from our loved ones. I had a channeled message for me that one of the witches delivered, which was so beautiful. One of the witches in our community who we just posted about, that I just shared a video from, came through and had a message for me, which was beautiful. And in turn, one of the siblings of that same witch came to me, and I heard his name repeated over and over. So I had to share that with him. And what was crazy was June also got the same message about the same sibling, but shared that message with that witch privately. So we didn't talk to each other, June and I. And at separate times in the night, we went to that witch and we're like, hey, just wanted to tell you, I got a message from your brother. Just wanted to share that with you. And so it was so crazy. She was like, June just told me the same thing. And it was just, yeah, so validating and beautiful. Yes, I still make my smoke blends. I still make my teas. I've been doing that much less because of the shop, focusing on the shop and wanting to focus on other practitioners. But I still make them. And I'm going to be kind of like revisiting how I make my things so that I can make them available in the shop for you guys. Again, like a lot of the things, if you go now, they'll probably say sold out because I'm trying to kind of get rid of everything so I can start fresh. So yes, I do still make them. If you can't find what you're looking for, you can always like send me a message, and I can try to make a custom order for you. But I'm really trying to not do that too much right now. Encourage folks to buy the blends that we have in the shop from the practitioners and different brands that I love featuring. And you will see the BronxWitch Bodega line back in the shop in full effect soon, probably sometime 2024. New packaging, all kinds of stuff I'm working on. All right. So asking Spirit for a message. What's the vibe for this turn of the wheel of the year? What's the affirmation that I need to repeat to myself while we shift from last year into this year? Oh, multiple messages. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay, I get it. Because all of y'all are in here. Okay. I know which one is for me and which ones are for you guys. Okay. All right, so I'll share. I'm going to go backwards. And for each of you, I want you to just take whichever of these messages really resonate for you. Okay. And I encourage you to incorporate them into your own vision boards. First of all, the number 11. I am sacred. I am sacred. This is giving the goddess Shakti energy. The number 11 is the number of the goddess. 11 o'clock is her time. I am sacred. Divine feminine energy. I follow my heart. I follow my heart. Number 39, channeling Libra energy. This message might be for the Libras in the room. I follow my heart. I am hopeful. I am hopeful. Number 1, I am hopeful. Oh, you're welcome, Cynthia. Number 16, I am perceptive. I am perceptive. Okay. And this is the message I feel is specifically for me. I am a healer. I am a healer. Number 32 has come up twice for me today. I am a healer. Wow. That's so interesting because that message came up in a spirit guide reading that I was doing for someone. My spirit guide readings are a specific style of tarot reading that I do to help you identify your spirit guides. And I'm going to have to spend some more time with this one. So this is going to be going on my altar. Those other messages are for you guys. I would take the ones that resonate. Nice. Betty had a second interview for the job that you mentioned. Awesome. Glad to hear it. And congratulations. Okay. Beautiful. Thank you guys for indulging me in that little reading. I pray those messages were helpful to you and maybe inspire you in your vision board creating. Thank you, Betty. All right. Let's get into the vision boarding. So, first things first. First things first. My vision board is something that I work on all year long, okay? I don't just wait until the moment that I want to make my vision board. The reason for that is because I have found that when I do that, it gets really frustrating because I haven't put any thought really into what I want. And when it comes to the things that I do want, what are the chances that I'm going to find a picture in a magazine or something like that that I want right at that moment? Okay. Yes. Yes. I love it. Yay. The messages are resonating. So because I don't want to sit around trying to, last minute scramble to find things, I have a little folder in my Google Drive called my vision board. And throughout the year, I will make notes about things that I want to see in my life, not my goals, things that I want to see come to be. And I'll make little notes about it. And I'll also put in there pictures from my life. I'll pull them right out of my phone or email, wherever they may be. Okay, so these are like my pictures, things from my life and stuff like that. And I'll put them all into, these are pictures from the retreat. These are the last pictures that went in. So I'll put that in my drive, just in a Google document. So I have it. All righty. Then I'll also go through magazines and I'll find words and phrases that speak to that list that I made. Okay, so the pictures that I put in my drive that are my own photos, they all have to do with this list. And the things that I pull from the magazines and stuff all have to do with this. So and it's all about vibe. It's all about energy. It's not a goal list, right? So this is a bottle of wine. I don't even really drink alcohol anymore. So I'm not saying I want wine in my life. The wine is called Sun Goddess. Okay. And I want to do more connecting with the sun, with my power as a Leo, and with the goddess. So I really liked that. So I pulled that out. Phrases, gracias a Dios. Okay. Tuned in, right? So I'll pull out words and things that I like. I'm working more on my YouTube. I'm working more on my online presence and things like that. So these are like pictures of cameras. They're actually telescopes, but I feel like when you are, you know, doing anything on the internet, like you're not on camera, you're under a microscope or a telescope. Like it's super intense, more intense than being on camera, because everybody's got something to say about every breath that you take when you're online. So it's something to think about. It's not that you're on camera. It's like you're really under a microscope or being viewed through a telescope. Like you can really be completely analyzed. So that's why I picked that instead of a camera. Okay, but that's the vibe. It's not my goal to be seen through a telescope. I don't intend to be in outer space, but that's the vibe. So that's what the idea behind the vision board is. And then I just, collect these pictures and stuff throughout the year or the day before. I did some of this today. I did some of it yesterday, looking through my magazines for pictures, images, words, and things that related to my list. Okay, so I've got all that here. And the one thing that I hadn't done yet is like cut them out. So usually I already have them all cut out and ready to go. So I'm going to do that. And while I cut these out, this would be a good time to ask any questions about vision boards or share your experiences with them. Once I cut everything out, I'm going to start putting it together. Blessed Samhain, Nerd Fighter Life. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Blessed Samhain. Happy Halloween. We are vision boarding over here for the next turn of the wheel of the year. Feel free to join us. Cynthia asks, is there anything too outrageous to put on your vision board? I would say no, because remember that your vision board is not a list of goals. It is a petition to the universe. And I have gotten much better at asking the universe for my wildest dreams. Okay, asking the universe for my wildest dreams instead of trying to aim for what is quote unquote realistic, or what seems to be like reasonable or what have you. This is a petition to the universe. So this is the time to ask for the wildest things that you really want. Okay, when we set goals for ourselves, that is where we want to ask questions of, is it realistic? Is it reasonable? What are the action steps for me to get there? But this is a petition to the universe. And the universe is not limited in the way that we are. The universe does not have to do what is reasonable, what's rational. The universe does not have to have carefully laid out action steps or limitations on it at all. So I would say no. There's nothing too quote unquote outrageous to ask. If you want it, put it on your vision board. And that's really the only thing to ask yourself. Do I want it? I think that's the most important question, and something that you really want to spend a little time with, because know that when you put this on your vision board, you are going to get it. Okay? You are going to get it. So really spend time thinking about whether or not you want that. That's why when it comes to like being an influencer or having an internet presence, I put the telescope instead of the camera. I also have pictures of like, TV studios and stuff and TV cameras, but I put the telescope because I'm like, I have to understand that if I'm going to ask for my YouTube channel to grow, my Instagram to grow, if I'm going to ask to become somebody that people know on the internet, then I have to be ready for what comes with that, which is scrutiny, which is criticism, which is people looking at you from a distance and wanting what you have, people seeing you from a distance and not fully understanding what you are or what you're all about, and yet still passing judgment, or making decisions and coming to conclusions. I have to accept that comes with maybe having a name or being known. So I really have to sit and ask myself, do I really want it? Because once you put it on the vision board, you're going to get it. What if there are things on last year's that you still want? Can it be carried over to your new board? Great question. And I would say absolutely yes. I would say absolutely yes. There's no reason not to carry them over. Actually, when I was starting this year's in my Google Drive, I went back to my Vision Board 2023 file and pulled a couple of pictures that were in that file that either didn't make it to my vision board last year or that did, but I want to keep putting energy behind that and still want. Actually, it's funny that you asked. Both of these pictures are on last year's board. And I want them to carry over to this year, either because they didn't come to be, or in both of these cases, they did come to be, and I just want them to keep going. Okay. That picture right there, this one here is actually, I put it on last year's board. Let me see, this last year's. See, it's down there. See? Same picture. I wanted to visit my friend more frequently, and that's where he is right now. And that happened. I got to see him this year, and I would like to go visit some more. So I'm putting that right back up on the board, letting the universe know, thank you so much. And more, please. More, please. Hi, Kitty. Hi. You want to come up and see the people? Huh? You want to say hi to the people? Or you just wanted a booty scratch? You want to say hi to the people? No? Come on. Say hi to the people. Oh, good girl. Let's say hi. Hi, peoples. This is Eartha Kitty. This is my witchy kitty. Yeah. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. She doesn't like the limelight as much as I do. Okay. That was Eartha Kitty. I had put on last year's board that I wanted to do more spell casting, which I did. And this is one of the spells. You can kind of tell it's a road opener spell. And that was a very, very effective spell that I did. Sometimes I layer my spells. Yes, cute cat alert. Kitty, you're getting compliments over here, even though you're being a little biatch. Thank you for complimenting my cat child. So sometimes I, what do you call it? Layer spells. Sometimes what you want needs like supporting work. And so I will sometimes have to back up my spells with other things. So I had this particular spell that I wanted to work. I wanted to call on my ancestors for something very specific, but I also knew that there were things in my life that were kind of standing in the way of those things. Even before I asked for it, you know, I was like, okay, I know that I want these things, but I also know that there's like stuff standing in the way of them coming into my life. And I can't, you know, if I'm going to ask for stuff, I need to make space for these things. So before I casted the spell to call in what I wanted, I did a road opener spell to open the roads for me to actually be able to even accept those things. And baby, I'm so glad that I did, because there were several things in my life that had to go in order for me to get what I was asking for. And now that they are gone, the things that I am asking for have been like boom, 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 boom. You know, but sometimes what we are asking for, the things that we have in our life, stand in opposition. And so I really, you know, I knew that. I knew that even though I couldn't necessarily get rid of them myself, I knew that they had to be gotten rid of. So I needed to ask for help with that first. Spirit, please help to remove the things in my life that are blocking these things that I say that I want. I had to ask for that first and open those roads. And not fun, you know, not easy to have people, places, things that you've gotten used to removed from your life. But when you want better, that is exactly what has to happen. So that spell was incredibly effective. So I'm putting it on this year's board. as an example of like the successful spell work I want to continue working, and the fact that I want my roads to stay open as these other better things come in. I don't want to fall into the same habits or make some of the same mistakes. So I'm going to keep that energy going. Somebody is frying fish for dinner in the building, and it smells so good. Last night I made dinner, y'all. Ooh, child. I am so grateful that I can cook. I don't know what I would do if I couldn't. Life would be so miserable. When I tell you I can throw down in the kitchen, June can tell you I made my it's a cross between a salad that my husband's friend, may he rest in peace, taught us, and like a corn salad that my homegirl made the other day when we went over to her house for her birthday. But basically, it's cucumber, avocado, red onion. I put tomato and corn. And I was going to put black beans, but I was like, no, it's too much. Lime juice, a little salt and pepper, and just a dash of sugar, honey. And it is so good. Scooped up onto some Tostito chips or eaten by itself. Put into a pita. It's really good as a nice vegan pita filling. But I can throw down. But last night I made plátanos because I left maduro specifically. Because I left some plantains here and they got extra ripe, and I was like, oh snap, I gotta cook these. And then some red beans, guisada style, so like saucy, soupy, stewy beans with some white rice. And I made a dipping sauce for the plátanos. Vegan mayo, sriracha, cilantro, lime juice, a little salt and pepper, and a little garlic powder. Baby! The way! Oh my God, I was so full. I ate way too many. I probably had 3 plantains worth of the maduro, which is just like on top of the beans and rice that I had. I was so full. But that sauce, I just couldn't stop. I could not stop. I had that for leftovers. I was glad I had leftovers. I'm doing a lot of recalibrating in my life for the last 15 years or so. I have cooked for me and my husband. I can't really think of the last time I've really cooked meals just for me. So I'm having to recalibrate. Like, I got groceries yesterday, and I had to like sit and stop myself because I was about to order all of my usual groceries, and I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute, wait a minute. Everything's going to go bad if you get the amount of stuff you usually get. So I had to, I'm learning, I'm adjusting my new life as a solitary in a new way. So I was glad I was able to make enough for myself without going overboard, but I will still have enough for leftovers today. I had some today for dinner, and then tomorrow I'll take probably the rest to the shop for my lunch while I'm at the shop with Alexis and Chelsea. I believe are in tomorrow. Sometimes I'll be cutting one picture and I'll see something else that I'm like, oh, I want that too. I have a lot of words this year. Yes, I'm biased, but I think they're the best. They're so vocal, especially the female ones, apparently. So Kitty, like, we have conversations up in here. As you could tell, the minute she decided that she didn't want to be held anymore, she had no problem letting me know. And I feel like I can decode all of her meows. You know, I can tell when she's saying no, it sounds like no. No. You'll be like, Kitty, are you hungry? She'll be like, so it's pretty funny. Is anybody working on their vision board right now? Am I the only one? Now, I don't want to hear none of this nonsense next year about like, oh, I gotta sit down and do this. Like, no, no, no. Especially those of you who were with me last year and last year's live, you should be ready. Okay? I want you guys today. Yes, Nuri, and what's up, Grace? Hey, girl. Grace is our honorary witch. We keep trying to drag her into the fold. She keeps entertaining us, doing witchy stuff with us. We love it. Hey, Grace. That's cool. Grace and Nuri are working on theirs. I love that. So for those of you who are just watching and, didn't quite have what you needed prepared, first of all, this is obviously going to be available to replay over and over on YouTube. This is also streaming to the BronxWitch HQ YouTube channel because we are live for the Coven. And if you didn't have things prepared, now you know what you want to do for yourself. You want to make a list of the things you want to see in your life, your petitions, basically. Okay, and then you want to go looking for images, words, things that remind you of that vibe. Okay. Perfect, fighter life. Yep. As you brainstorm and think about what you want to see in your life next year, make a note. Okay. Start making a list so that you don't forget. Make a list of those things. And then when you start looking, remember that you are looking for things that capture the vibe of what you want, not goals that you're going to work on. For example, one of the things on my list is I want to get flown out. I want to get flown out to appear or flown out to do readings at an event or whatever, but I want to be flown out for the things that I do. I want somebody to call me rather than me having to pay my own way to go to participate in things. I want to be an invited guest to something and I want to be flown out. So at first I was looking for pictures of like airplanes and stuff and I couldn't find it. And then I came across this article about Humphrey Bogart. And I thought about Casablanca and the very famous scene of him standing in front of the airplane and the "here's looking at you, kid," right thing. So I think that's what he says in that thing, right? "Here's looking at you." Was that then? Either way, Humphrey Bogart makes me think of planes because of that scene in Casablanca. So when I saw him, I was like, ooh, even better than an airplane, because an airplane kind of gives the vibe that it's something that I'm going to work on. But no, I'm just calling in the Humphrey Bogart vibe of somebody being like, you going to get on this plane with me, girl, or not? So we're calling in vibes. You can do that with words, with images. Yes. Laurenberg likes the images. It's been hard finding the images, so you decided to sit and draw, which fits because I want to get more creative. I love that. That's the reason why I have my whole craft kit with me. I've got paints and markers and such, so that if there is an image or a word that I want but I can't find it, I can just write it. Or draw it myself. I love that my husband has this stash of like Maxims and Playboy magazines here because they really come in handy when I want to find like really seductive pictures. Okay. Those are pretty cool. He doesn't just have those. He also has like backpacker magazines for beautiful shots of the outdoors. And these bigger pictures are what I will use for the background. I put these full page pictures on the background. They kind of like set the vibe and set the tone. And then the rest of it is, you know, then I start doing the little stuff. On top. But I start with a background of stuff that I like. Okay, I don't think I'm going to need these because I have all these other ones. And some of the things will, like, I'll let shine through. So, like, this is going to be backdrop page. The one thing that I want from the universe that I don't want to work for, I just want it to be given to me, is a flat stomach. You understand? And I get it. I know what Lauren Berg was saying. You know, you've got to do some stuff too. So maybe eating 3 plantains worth of maduro at 10 o'clock at night is not going to get me there. I understand that. But this is not a goal board. This is a petition board. I would like the universe to simply gift me this woman's stomach. So we're going to put that in the background, but I'm going to leave that part uncovered so I can see that part. So the universe can see that part. You hear me, universe? So the universe can see that part. Okay, I think they heard. Not a goal. I don't have it in me, and I've had to accept. I don't have the willpower. I don't have the discipline. So if homegirl's going to have a flat stomach at any point in her life, it's going to have to be a gift from the universe. Okay? Yes, brainstorming and working in my planner. That's awesome. Oh, yeah. Yeah, these magazines are, so I have one magazine subscription to Chilled Magazine, which is a bartender's magazine that if you tell them you're a bartender or in the hospitality industry, they will send to you for free. It's not monthly. It's like a quarterly magazine. I haven't told them yet that I don't bartend anymore. So I just get the magazines and I keep them. But those magazines are not super great because they're mostly just like ads for alcohol. But I will find some stuff. Like I think the Humphrey Bogart article might have been in a Chilled magazine. So I will find some things. But quite a few of these are coming from Joe's stash, which now that he's not living here, I'm not so sure I'll have as big of a stash next year. Though usually what I do is I'll rip out what I want from the magazines and then I throw the magazines away because, you know, since he's got them coming in, I've got them coming in, they would back up and stuff. I think what I'll do this year is I'm not going to throw away the magazines. I'll just keep them and I'll keep using them. Okay. And some of these things I won't even use because, you know, I'll have like 3, 4, 5 pictures that all represent the same vibe. But just to have material so that as I'm filling up my board, I can fill in spots or I can layer up certain energies. Like I said, I have a lot of quotes and words this year. I don't necessarily have space for all of these, but they're like vibes. All about the vibe. Sandy Boutte is going to be in the background. So that's a full page vibe. Bam. Mary, okay, because she's giving sun goddess, lioness big time in this picture. That's my big Leo energy. Not to mention Mary is like the representation. She's literally like the physical embodiment of resilience. Like that woman has been through some shit. Okay, been through some shit. You don't know Mary J. Blige's story? It's worth looking into. She has been through it, honey. And she keeps going and she keeps giving us greatness. And I feel like a lot of people, women in particular, can really relate to what she's been through, some of her struggles. And Yeah. Okay, wait. I'm missing. Where are my pictures? My printed pictures. What did I put? Oh, I cut them out. Yes. Okay. Okay. Bam. Bam. That was the first thing I cut out. Okay. Great. Okay. Cool. All right. So now we have our stash of stuff. Okay. I'm going to get the other camera set up again. Actually, let me flip through these cards too and see what cards from here I might want to include. Okay, a few cards that I might use. Okay, all right. All right. Bam. So now we've got all of that. Yes. Bestow upon me a flat stomach. Thank you. I feel you, Cynthia. I'm telling you, I went through like 3 plantanos worth of maduros last night. I was like, I don't think, but that's why it's not a goal. Okay. It is what I'm petitioning the universe for. Universe, co-create with me a flat stomach. I can't do it on my own. Co-create with me. All right. So this is what I want to do. Make some space. Get some things out of the way so that I can put another camera, because I'm fancy now. I'm high tech, y'all. We're going to put another camera on my desk so that while I'm working on this, you can see it. Because I looked back at last year's and I was like, oh, you can't really see what I'm doing. So I wanted to try to do that. And I did. Okay, let me see. Let me move it so it's the right direction. It's more right side up and not upside down. So you might not really care if it's upside down, but let me see if I can do this way. Oh, these are some rose tattoos. I can't even remember what these were in, but that's going to go on there. Okay, see, I can see from here. Yeah. Cool, huh? Technology. All right, this is my list. Got my list of my vibes. I'm going to prop those up over here. And then we're going to grab our board. Try to make space. Okay. Yeah, let's see. We'll have to turn it this way for you to see it like that, which I think is fine. I can work that way. Okay. I think like this, you can pretty much see most of it, if not all of it. Nothing fall, nothing fall. Okay. Yeah, that's like pretty much the whole board. Okay, good. All right, it's assemblage time. I'm gonna get my various glues. School glue, clear school glue, thick glue. Shout out to Elmer's holding us down since childhood. All right, and now we just begin the assembly. Pull these things over here. It's easier for me to reach. And we're going to start with the big background picture. Map these out where I want them. I want Mary's energy, but I don't necessarily want her face. No offense to her face. It's a beautiful face. But I want the vibes to be focused on the kind of goddess lion energy of her outfit more than that. I'm gonna plot these out. So maybe her face will be in it for now. I'm gonna put these together kind of based on like their color backgrounds and like the energy. I'm gonna try to make sure not to cover up this flat tummy over here because that's a part of the vision. Okay. Okay, but not homegirl's face. So that's perfect. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, you can see most of it. That's good. Okay. 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 Backdrop. It's given. Okay, what's that here? Actually, I need to clear for this one because it's going to be all the way on the back. So it's the goopy stuff for this because we're not going to see that. And I do this thing when I get to the end of this where I tape over everything. So if you notice, last year's vision board had a shine to it, and that's because I tape everything up with just like a layer of tape over to hold everything down. So it doesn't have to be super perfect, as long as whatever I'm putting down is adhered strong enough that if I pick up the board, everything doesn't just fall off. And these are so much fun to make, but only when you've like made the preparations. Because as you can probably see, if I had to go flipping through a whole bunch of magazines to find these images right now while we were trying to work on this, that would be so annoying. But I already had my list of what I want to call into my life, what I want the universe to give me during this turn of the year. And I already took the time to flip through a bunch of magazines and find images, go online and print pictures out of my phone, and just get myself ready. And the only thing I hadn't done, which I typically would already have done before coming live, was just to cut everything out. But as you can see, that part didn't take very long. It's definitely the brainstorming and looking for pictures, images, words that represent what you want to see that takes the longest time. So I recommend not doing that at the same moment that you want to make your vision board. Unless you don't mind like spending hours and hours and hours on the vision board. But if you'd rather have the vision board part kind of go quickly, like how it's going now for me, now I'm just sticking stuff on, then I definitely recommend looking for those things, getting your ideas, asking yourself what you want to see in your life. First. Hi, kitty. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, what? Oh, you want to know what that stuff is? You can play with it. It's just paper. I can't put stuff in the garbage can because my craft box is on top of it. Yes, you having fun? You having fun playing with the paper? Okay. All right. Backdrop. Okay, that is the backdrop. Looking good. All right, now we'll start to add to it. Ma'am, yes? No, I'm not picking you up now. You had an attitude, first of all. All right, and so now with the adding of the pictures, what I'm going to do, I do need to turn it this way so now I can start looking at it. You guys can still see the process. Ma'am, can you please? Okay. So usually what I do now is I just start by building up like the biggest pictures, and then the smaller things will go on top. But I also kind of lay things out according to like themes in certain areas, you know, so all the things related to one thing will kind of be in the same space, so they kind of tell a story of what I'm looking for. So this flat tummy, which is over here, flat tummy, she made her way over here. This kind of represents some things about me physically, as well as like a new way of embodying myself, getting to know myself physically. And I thought this picture was really cool because this is a picture, this is from an older magazine, but this is October's Playgirl, Milan Dixon. And she was in service. She worked at a Fridays, and she was Miss October, and she is a woman of color and has a little gap in her teeth. So she was giving vibes that I really was like wanting to channel as I learn new things about myself. So we're going to decide where she's going to go. Think up here. And now I'm going to start using the clear glue because this is stuff that's going to be on top. So the clear glue is a better choice. Right, and this is where it's fun because I can decide like, what do I want to cover up from the background? What do I actually want to be seen through? You know, some things, it doesn't matter if you can see it, like I'll know it's there, which is cool. This is a picture of the retreat house, by the way, guys, the staycation house. I wanted to include this on the vision board because 100% I want to go back there again next year for the staycation, if not before then. The staycation absolutely has to become a yearly thing for the shop and the Coven community to enjoy. The house was just so perfect. We learned a lot about the history of the house, which was really cool. And we resonated with it in so many different ways. Specifically for me, I went to an all-girls school. We have a headmistress, which is a very old school thing, but I went to a private all-girls school for high school with a headmistress. And so to find out that this building started off as an all-girls school, and I very much felt that way. We were joking that, like, basically we were Hogwarts in the hood. It was this cool house where we were sitting around doing a bunch of witchy stuff all weekend long, and I was like in charge, which made me Dumbledore. So I'm like a hood Dumbledore. But I was really loving that. And I was like, yes, I am the headmistress. And these are my students, and we are witching, and this is so cool. So to find out that it was an all-girls school and it already had that vibe was really cool. So the house, like the staycation will definitely happen, but even more than the staycation, like the house is the key. It's just so perfect. And it's the only house like that. It's the only house in that area that remains from that era. Everything else has been torn down to be rebuilt as something luxury, something modern. And that is the only house in that area from 1900 that is still there. So I very much want to support it, you know, and send our business there so that they can continue to do what they do. They are owned currently by a nonprofit, which is really amazing because, you know, they do a lot of community events, things for the neighborhood. They do a lot of either low cost or no cost healing retreats. They are a space for the indigenous people of the area to hold their sweat lodge, fire ceremonies, and things like that. So I just really want to support them and keep going there and keep setting business there. That would be really special to me to be able to do. So I cut out this picture of myself in front of the house, which printed black and white looks like it's an old school photo. Kind of creepy because it's me now, but it looks like it could have been back in the day. Also, that says a lot about my fashion sense, that it could be like 1900. And then this was on the refrigerator, history of the place. So I took a picture of that while I was there. And so that is a part of this photo. Yes, nerd fighter life, getting into it. Lighting your candles, making some tea, getting some incense. Now that you have been, I know you were brainstorming, so you might have some ideas now what you want to pull together, set the vibe. Yes, we definitely did. We definitely did. So I felt the spirits of the girls from the school. And what was cool was during our sound bath session on the first night, Shop Witch Alexis came to do sound bath sessions for us both nights. And on the first night, when we were talking about what we experienced after the sessions, she said, I don't want to weird you guys out, but I could feel from the staircase and like from the raptors spirits watching us. And that's what I felt when I was there. I felt the girls on the staircase, but I also felt them just like walking around in the foyer where we were all laying down. And then several nature spirits were encountered, spirits of the crossroads encountered on the nature walk, in human form, in animal form, in just energy. June, hopefully June is okay with me sharing this story. June saw some nurses. And what was really cool was the school, after it was an all-girls school, at one point it was sold to the Mount Sinai College of Medicine School of Nursing, which doesn't exist anymore. But when it did exist, it was a place for the nursing students to go to have retreats and workshops. It wasn't the college and it wasn't a hospital. It was like a place for them to go to hang out together basically and learn and take workshops and do stuff like that. And when he saw them, you know, it was a very specific look that they had. And so we were like, oh, let's see if we can find any pictures of nurses at that time, like to see what era we think they might have been from. So we're looking for pictures, and sure enough, we're able to find a picture that looks like the spirits that he saw in the house. And what was super crazy was we found a picture of this era of nurses, you know, wearing uniforms of this era of nurses. And the picture looks like it was taken in the house. And the picture is not with a website that could confirm that. It was just like a random picture of like nurses back in the day. So I want to do some more research to find out whether or not that picture was taken in the house, because it 100% looked like it was. 100%, which was super cool. So not only did he see nurses of the era, the correct era, but he may have in fact led us to a photo of those very nurses in the house. So that was pretty cool.
The stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on two separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, from those positions. When played back simultaneously on two separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension of sound, impossible to obtain in a mono recording.
So I want to let you guys know this is a high tea live. It is something that I used to do on YouTube very regularly, usually on the full moons. And then lately, I have not been consuming cannabis so much, so it kind of like felt like it didn't really make sense. But I've decided that high teas are coming back, which is funny because high tea sweeps New York City is one of the words on the vision board from last year. So I've decided that high tea is coming back. I know this is going to make Betty very happy and folks who really enjoyed it. And it used to be a Coven only live. So I've decided to go back to that, to its roots, as being like a private live that I will hold. I don't know if it'll be every full moon, but on a fairly regular basis is what I can say. And it's going to be exclusive for our Coven community members, which is what it used to be. So I'm going to go back to that. So right now, this live is public. It is live streaming on my channel, Beyond BronxWitch, and live streaming on the shop's channel, BronxWitch HQ. But moving forward, it's going to be private for the Coven community. And then I think I'll make the replays available on the shop page. I think that's what I'm going to do there. We've got a lot of stuff going on in Beyond BronxWitch. We've got our BetterWitch podcast tapings and any other thing that I do. So I think this is going to be for the HQ Online Portals Coven community. So if you want to join that, there's a link in the description box. Just look for Join the Coven. And the Coven has access to all of these monthly lives, like Live Book Club, Live, which is a color support group. And I think this will be another thing that I will make live for just the Coven community. So that way we can talk about whatever, I can do whatever. And then the replay will be available on maybe both channels. Maybe I'll make the replay available on both channels. That way, wherever you follow, you'll be able to do that. But if you want to be live here, be able to talk, I knew Betty would be happy about that. If you want to be able to actually talk in the chat, engage, etc., then you're going to want to be a part of the live stream, the link to which will be available for the Coven community members. And then if you guys don't want to join the Coven community, that's totally fine. You'll be able to watch the replay. So you'll be able to still see what went down in the high teas and all that. Laurenberg's cool with that? Good. We took this at the staycation. All of our fingers together before we went on the nature hike. I'm also going to be posting some videos on just the HQ channel. I might make like one video for my channel of like a little recap of the weekend, but I'm going to be dumping like the full length videos of stuff on the HQ channel since the staycation is officially the HQ retreat. But we had... we put the camera up for like a bunch of random things and just let it go. So we had the camera up during dinner. We had the camera up during breakfast at one point. We had the camera up during our full moon, our impromptu full moon cologne making ritual, which we had not planned. And we captured like an hour and a half of that, of us just sitting around together, praying over each ingredient, everybody putting in their own ingredients. June explaining what each one meant, and us just chilling together, basically passing a little doob around for those of us who partook. It was pretty cool. should have put this beneath these. Let me see. Is it too late? I'm doing some corrective work here. This. Under here. Bam. Bam. Pick. Sweet. Beautiful. Okay.
I get misty just holding your hand.
How's the volume of this music, guys, by the way? I didn't check. Not too loud. Okay, I imagine that means it's all good. Oh, nice. I like that. Go with the flow. Your vision board definitely doesn't have to be a collection of pictures and magazine cutouts and such. That is just the way that I do it. That works for me because drawing is not my strong suit, though I do like to do it and I love to paint, especially oil paint. But for something like this, I prefer to go with a bit more abstract vibe for myself and also something easier. But I love that you are drawing very much. Love that. Yay. Love that. This is definitely inner child work for sure. Whatever mediums call to you, you know, there's something very wonderful about just putting stuff together the way you want, letting there be paint or glue or whatever on your fingers, and working on something like this without it being like for work or a homework assignment. It's just your thing. All right, so I've got all of the big pictures went into the background. Layered on top of that were some of the like mid-sized pictures. Then I started getting kind of smaller and smaller. Now what I have left are cards. I put one card on already, the magician card. But I've got a couple cards. And then after that, the last step is to put on the words. Because those can easily go on top of stuff. If you put the words on before you start putting on your pictures, you're going to run into like accidentally covering them up. So I get all the pictures on first, everything else. And then the last thing that I put on will be the words. Also, still following the same theme of putting things kind of together with, you know, what they're kind of talking about. I'm going to put the cards around and see how I feel about them before I glue them down, because they'll be harder to pick up once I'm done. Ooh, hold on. I see a theme here. Hmm. Bam. Okay. I think that's how it works. I do think so. If you watch them, I think that's how that works. I think that's how ad revenue works. I'll be honest. I'm not 100% sure how it works. I know that I get credit for allowing the video to have ads in the first place, I believe. And I do think it makes a difference. I have a friend who intentionally watches all the ads for that reason. She's like, I always watch all the ads and I don't click through them because, like, if you get credit for them, then I want you to get the credit, which I think is so nice. But no pressure if you don't want to watch them. I think I get credit just for letting them be there. And I picked, like, there's different settings that you can choose. So I picked, like, let YouTube decide when to put them up or what have you. But let me know if that was a bad idea, because maybe they're doing it too much. Are they doing it a lot? Usually I pick the settings and I pick, like, before and after the video, because I feel like that's enough. But YouTube is going to do its own thing. So if it's excessive, then I won't click that next time. I won't let YouTube decide. Oh, you haven't seen any? Oh, okay. Cool. That's good. Glue down. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is like an actual, like, one of those wet the back tattoos. So I don't know if I can just take this off. Hopefully I can do it. I know you can do it on skin. You think I can do it on paper? Let's try. Try to do it on paper. I'm gonna have to wet the back. Here's my key. Kind of appropriate. Cynthia, you've seen about 3 or 4. Okay, that's not too bad, I feel like. It's been like 3 hours. Almost 3 hours. So that's not too bad. That's like 1 an hour.
Special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, transferred from those positions. When played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended together to achieve a new dimension in sound, impossible to obtain in a monaural recording.
No, that's not going to make a difference, Cynthia, my dear. If you went to the portal, it's just going to give you the link to this video and take you to YouTube. There are no lives in the portal itself. The portal doesn't have the capability of going live. But what we are able to do in the portal is provide the link to lives that we keep private from everybody else. So navigating from YouTube versus on the portal, I don't think would make a difference. It would have to be something else different, maybe in your ad settings, perhaps. Or don't forget, Betty is international. So it could be something about that. Anybody else in the US, are you also seeing ads? Because it could be a US versus international thing. Hey, Key, what's up? Yeah, Lauren Berg is seeing ads. Okay, so lucky Betty. Then it must be a US international thing, would be my guess. That the ads that are being shown are just for the US, and Canada probably has their whole own thing going on, because you know Canada always got to have its own thing going on. And so that would be my guess. But let me know. 3 to 4, I feel like in the last 3 hours is not bad. Personally, I don't think that's too crazy. I selected let YouTube decide, so it's just deciding when to put them. But if you guys collectively feel like it's too much, I can do it differently next time. It is how I get monetized on the YouTubes, but I can understand if it's annoying. I don't mind turning it off next time. And don't forget, for those of you who are just coming in the room, the next time I do this high tea, if you want to be a part of it live, you're going to want to join the Coven community. Right now, this live is available to the public. We're live streaming on my channel, Beyond BronxWitch. We're live streaming on the YouTube for the shop, BronxWitch HQ. But the next time I do this, it's not going to be publicly available during the live. I will probably make the replay available, but if you want to be able to actually chat like Miss Key and everybody else, then you're going to want to be a Coven community member. These high teas used to be only for the Coven community when the Coven was on YouTube, but now the Coven is bigger, it's better, it's on the shop page, it's interacted with by all of the shop witches, so it's not just me in there. There's classes, there's web events, the book club, the Witches of Support group that I started are both over there now, so it's the place to be. All right, let's see. Miss Key, we are making vision boards. We're having high tea. We've got some cannabis tea on deck from 8th Flower. Shout out to Essie. We've got I am enjoying some CBD from Preps Herbals, which you can get in the shop. And we are making our vision board for this new turn of the Wheel of the Year. And I was talking all about my tips and tricks for making the vision board making process just go smoothly. Because I feel like if you don't have a game plan, it can be very a little frustrating and not as fun, basically. Putting more water on the back of this. Trying to get a tattoo to stick on this paper. So I don't know if this is going to work. But let's try. Thank you, Betty. Thank you, my dear. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. I got a super sticker from Betty. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Very generous. Thank you so much for supporting this channel, this online portal. You rock. Thank you, Cynthia. Okay, it's not too bad. Okay, that's cool. Good. All right, so let's see if this tattoo comes off, y'all. Ooh, I think it's coming off. Yes, it worked. Oh, okay. I'm gonna do that again. I have 3 of them. That's a nice little addition. Spirit guide vibes. Okay, where should we put the next one? Down here. Okay, I'm going to have to be really careful here because this is going to get wet and I don't want this ink to run. But I do like this vibe. Ow, you guys are my sheroes and heroes. You guys are my they-ros. Y'all are my non-binary O's. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, doing this part carefully because I'm laying this slightly over my little printed history of the staycation location. Which I printed, so it will definitely just run if I get it wet. I'm going to do that.
I get the day just holding your hand. Time waits.
Okay. Rose number 2 came out pretty good. I can't believe this is working. All right, third one. Yes, it's working. I got 2 of them on. You can see right down here is the first one. Over here is the other one. And this is going to be the third one that I think wants to go in this area for sure. I think we're going to go. Here with it, or here. I think we're gonna go here with it. Well, I think we've learned it sticks better on the magazine paper. Okay, well I had that. Okay, so let's go here with it. Let's go here with it. Yeah. Okay. This feels so right that I'm using my tea to wet the back of this too, because I feel like I'm infusing the cannabis of the tea right into this vision board. So it's kind of capturing the energy of the high tea itself, which is cool. Do I find there's a general theme for each vision board? No, I would say the theme really is just what I want for the next year, what I want to feel, what I want to experience. And then on the board, like certain areas of my life will kind of come up, whether it's my career or my love life or my family, my friends, things I want to learn, skills I want to gain, things I want to experience, places I want to travel, things like that will come up, and then I'll kind of clump those together on the vision board. But the theme of each vision board really is just the next turn of the year and what I want the universe to give me. Oh, my dumbass. Oh my gosh, I forgot to take the clear page off. Hold on. Oh, crap. Okay. Fuck. I forgot to take the clear page off, so I printed on the clear slip. Let's see if I can transfer that from there to here. Otherwise, nope. I don't think so. Well, I fucked that one up, guys. Shit. I fucked that one up. Oh, wait. Why don't I just tape this on? Hold on. Hold on. I need to drag it back up. Okay. Presence averted. I'm just going to put the clear page right on top of it. Okay. That wasn't the intention. That was not the plan. But here we are. I totally forgot to take the clear sheet off the top of the tattoo so that it would come out, which is a shame because it looked like it was going to come out perfectly. But that's all right. We're just going to use the clear sheet. Hey, where there is a will, there is a way. All right, I've got my 3 roses on. Boom. And then the last thing are my words. So the words come last. Everything else is glued down in the place where it needs to be. And now I can use the words, obviously keeping them together with the areas that are like the theme, but I can also use the words to cover up any areas that are weird, overlapping parts of the background that maybe I don't want showing through and stuff like that. So. When I get to the really small words, I'll switch probably to my glue stick. And I feel like I usually put the pictures kind of all facing straight up. I haven't always done that. And some boards I've been more like wherever. But I find lately I've been doing the pictures straight up, and then the words can go in like all types of directions based on like where I need it. This quote from Humphrey Bogart is everything. Really spoke to me when I saw it. He said, "I have character in my face. It's taken an awful lot of late nights and drinking to put it there." And that just felt so vibey for me because, as you guys know, I was a bartender for 15 years and I used to drink a lot. I think it would be fair to say in excess. And while I am very glad that I no longer drink like that and I've moved on from that part of my life, I am grateful for it, regrets and all, because it has most definitely given me quite a bit of layers to my character and my late nights. I recently put up some posts about my all-nighters that I periodically have. I get a lot of inspiration at night. I get a second wind of energy at night. And so I kind of go back and forth battling whether or not to do things like that, to have all-nighters. So I don't know if it's good or bad that I do that, but what I can say is that I do that. I do pull all-nighters a few times a week, probably. And I have definitely, that has definitely made a mark on who I am, and built my characters in some ways. you guys like having the second camera? What do you think about actually being able to see? Because if I didn't have this camera, you would just be looking at me doing this. And I would try to angle it down like I did last year. I like tried to angle it down, but you really couldn't see anything. I feel like here you can kind of see a little bit better. But you let me know if it seems worth it. It's cool. Good. Yes. Okay, good. Thank you for that feedback. I'm all about the feedback. I do this for you guys. I want to know what you think. Both options are good. Good, good, good. Cute. That's cool. All right. Almost there. Just a few more phrases. Decide where they're going. Oh, yum. Yeah, I'm excited. It's fire cider season. So I've got 3 batches rocking right now. One of which I will share with the folks who come to the fire cider workshop at the shop on November 11th. We'll make a batch together, and I'll also give you a taste of mine. And the online class will be available in November as well. You can pre-order it now. You can also download the guide for free. So check out the online portal. But that sounds amazing, Betty. Organic wildflower honey from an apple pumpkin farm. I love it. I get my raw wildflower honey from Ballard's farm here in New York. Shout out to Jaime, my honey guy. Wait, no, Javi, not Jaime. Javier, I think is his name. Javi, my honey guy. Shout out to him.
You see, stereophonic sound for the home is recorded on 2 separate tracks, each one giving special emphasis to certain sections of the orchestra, heard from those positions. When played back simultaneously on 2 separate systems, the sounds are blended.
Okay, Tile.
Achieve a new dimension of sound, impossible to obtain in a mono recording.
Okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but congratulations on rebuking it. Okay, good for you. Glue sticks on the little one. Helps with the mess. Cut down on the mess. Last one, guys. She's done. She's done. I know, right? You just said it wasn't annoying, and then YouTube was like, oh, really? It's not? Okay. Now we're going to show you too. But thank you very much for watching. I appreciate that, my dear. In this internet world, all kinds of engagement is good. Whether you like something, you repost something, you comment on it, you watch the ads, you click on them. Any type of engagement, I think, is good. You know? Okay. Okay, let's see. I'll show to this camera first. See if you guys can see most of it. Up in the corner. You can get the details. Okay. Yay. All right, we've seen the details. Actually, well, I guess I'll show you guys the last part that I do, which is to tape it. So I seal everything in. I'm just making sure I'm not missing any pictures. Last year, I made a 3D like flap. I didn't do that this time. So I can just tape right over everything. So I get myself some clear packaging tape. And I just carefully lay it across as neat as I can. Try to lay it down smooth as I can. Okay. And then I might cut the top a little bit uneven at the edges. So we just start, and I try to like not overlap them too much, so it doesn't get like so thick that you can't see the pictures. I mean, that's why clear packaging tape is the best, because it's probably not gonna do that anyway, but just in case, I try to just layer it a little bit. Not too much. And then I just cover everything up. And this seals everything in, keeps it from any damage during the year. So no matter where I put it, you know, it's going to be good. If it gets, for some reason, maybe like a little bit of, you know, liquid splattered on it or something, I don't know, maybe you keep it by a window, forgot to close the window on a rainy day. It also makes it so that the quality of the glue doesn't matter, or the excellence of the adhesion of whatever you're using doesn't matter, because everything is going to be sealed under this layer of tape. This is basically just ghetto lamination. I didn't do it on the first few. I did it last year, maybe the year before that. But with time, I've learned some things. And so my first couple of vision boards might not last forever, but these last couple that have had tape over them should last a good long time. And if having them last isn't important, then don't worry about that. You know, you might like the idea of your vision board kind of, you know, fading over time or coming apart. You might want to like maybe take some of the stuff on it back. You know, so you might want the glue to wear out and make it easy to pull stuff back off. Or you might just like the idea of it passing on, you know, and not being around forever. It might be private, so maybe you want it to be easy to kind of destroy. You know, this message will self-destruct. You might want to make it easy to like burn the next year if you have like a fire pit in your yard, somewhere where you can safely burn something kind of large. You might decide you want to burn this next year and start over. That's kind of cool of an idea. All right, she's laminated. Now this board was shaped a little weird, so there's just like 2 parts that I want to cut and neaten it up along the edges here. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to retape the edges. Okay. line on the bottom. Okay. Witches, we are done. Yes, we are. We are done. We are done. We are done. And you see how long that took? Now, obviously, I was like talking and we were doing other things and we had some interruptions and blah, 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 blah. But just the process of me cutting everything out and taping everything or gluing everything where I wanted it to go took a few hours. So I strongly suggest that you not try to do this and get your inspirations and pictures and all of that stuff all in one sitting. I think you'll just be exhausted. And unless you want to spend, 6 hours, half a day, or a whole work day working on it, which you might, and it's totally fine if you want to. But if that's not what you want to do, then I very much encourage you to break it up. Starting off with a list for yourself, okay? Start up with a list of inspirations. You can sit down and do this on one day, or like me, you can just start a file in your drive, on your computer, in your notes is great, in your cell phone notes if you're not somebody who's on a desktop all the time like me and dealing with drives and all that kind of nonsense. Just in the notes on your phone, just from time to time, speak into it things that you want to experience in the upcoming year. when it occurs to you, like, ooh, next year I would really love to do that. Oh, when you hear yourself saying, like, oh, next year I really want to go to this place. Next year I want to do this. I want to do that. Make a note of it in your drive, in your notes, whatever. And then when it gets to vision board time, whether you do it at Samhain like me, or you do it at the, Gregorian calendar New Year, January 1st, whatever it is, when you get to that part, you'll already have a list of the things and you won't have to sit there and try to remember, like, what was it that I wanted to do with my year? What was it that I wanted to experience? Where did I say I wanted to go? That stuff is going to be hard to remember in the moment. You know what I mean? So, things like that you want to put into your notes. And then when you are ready to start looking for images, then it'll go much faster. And then looking for images, I also recommend that you not do right at the same time that you're going to do the vision board, because just combing through magazines, looking up things online, drawing pictures, etc., might take quite a bit of time before you even get to the putting together part. So you want to come to your session with your list and your pictures, whether you printed them out, drew them yourself, or found them in magazines and books and such. And even better, have them cut out and ready. I was slacking today. I had them all ripped up and ready and printed out, but I hadn't actually cut them out. So this session took longer than it did last year because I was sitting there actually cutting them out. Last year I was ready and I had them ready to go all in a folder. So get all the way up to the point where you have your pictures cut out before you sit down to do your vision board. Then when it's vision board time, you can light your candles, put on your music, light your incense, get your tea, your coffee, whatever, your glass of wine, your snack. Set yourself up to channel the energy and the vibes of all the things that are on your list, and let that inform you of how to lay everything out, where to put stuff, what to keep, what not to bother putting on the board, and all of that good stuff. And then you get to just enjoy the fun of putting it all together, gluing everything, taping everything, whatever it may be. And that part can just be fun. It won't be overwhelming. It won't be frustrating because you'll have done all the other stuff at another time. And now you can just do the fun stuff. Check it out. 2024. $2024 for me, but for those of you on another calendar. The upcoming year, the next 365 days for me. This is the vibe. These are the things I want to see, the things I want to feel, the things I want to experience. And this is what I am telling the universe that I want. My goals are something completely different. My goals are things that I will work on to accomplish, that I will set action steps for to get done. These are things that I am petitioning the universe for. And as Lauren Berg so aptly pointed out, I will play a role in these things. But rather than having action steps and saying to myself, how do I get it? How do I get it? I am just going to be focusing on making sure my world is open for them, that I've made a space and an avenue for these things to come on through, and that I'm ready to receive them. That's my job in a petition. The universe's job in the petition is to figure out the how and the action steps and all of that. So there we go. This has been a lot of fun, you guys. As usual, I definitely pray that you all learned a lot about making vision boards, the effectiveness of them, and maybe how to go about it to make the process a little smoother and a little bit more fun for you, so it's not overwhelming. It's not something that you keep saying you're gonna do, but because it's hard to sit down and find an 8-hour day to work on it. You never get to. So hopefully with the tips that I shared, it will be easier for you to actually get them done. Because they're super effective. I swear by them for sure. These things, that's the next 365 days for me. So, yes. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. It has been a blast. The future high tea lives, like I said, will be for Coven members only, the actual live part. So if you like being able to chat, see your comments up on the screen, interact in live time, then I would definitely join the Coven community. The description for that is the link for that is in the description box. You can also go to bronxwitch.com/online and navigate through the portal, which is free to join, to the Coven, which is a monthly membership. And yeah, that's that. Ooh, a mandala. I love that. Love that very, very much. I think the next high tea might be on the next full moon. It'd be cool to like check in with everybody from there and give you guys time to join. Anytime you join the Coven, just so you know, you get 7 days free. And if you use my code ALYLIVE, ALYLIVE, you get 30 days free. Yeah, let me share that with you guys. Bam. That's the code. 30 days free in the Coven community. Thank you for sharing. Thank you guys for letting me know what you guys are working on. That's really cool. I like learning about what you guys are up to, how you're doing it differently. Someone was painting. Other folks are working on their boards together with somebody. Other people are, Lauren Berg is putting yours in a mandala shape, because I think that's really dope. I love that. Thank you, Betty. Thank you for your super sticker and for being here again this year. I appreciate it. I like this little tradition that we have going on. So I love it. The Coven community, by the way, is a great place because I have a news feed for you to let me know how your vision boards come along. So if you make vision boards, I'd love to see them. You can post pictures and videos of them in the Coven community. I'll post a picture of mine in there and get the thread going. And we can kind of keep progress of like how many of these things come to be. All right. Yeah, I think I'll close us out with one little smoke. Of this lovely Yerba Santa bundle from Lit Rituals. We enjoyed on the staycation. Nuri will definitely post pictures. Yeah, I want to see what you guys are working on. Please do. All right, guys. I think that's about it. I have so much work to do, and now the question is, am I going to stay up all night and do it, or am I going to get up early and try to tackle some of it? We shall see. But I'll be over at the shop tomorrow if anybody's in the area. So pop on by, come say hi. Otherwise, thank you, Cynthia. Appreciate it. I would love to see yours. Work on yours, and you're a Coven member, so drop it in the Coven Community newsfeed. I want to see you guys' vision boards. If you feel comfortable sharing them, of course. You might not. So, no pressure. But if you feel comfortable sharing them, especially in there, because it's a nice private community, if you feel comfortable sharing, I'd love to see it. All right, guys. Have a great night. Happy Halloween and blessed Samhain. Thanks for hanging out with me and vision boarding for 2023, 2024. Good night. Good night, Betty. Good night, you guys.